more on that. So I'll be also doing a full moon meditation on this when the full moon is full, which is about the next 7 days. And but in the meantime, though, guys, in the meantime, without waiting any more time, I'd like to introduce my special guests. My special guest tonight, her name is Udita. Okay, this is all interesting, I hear you say. And she is a curandero. What's a curandero? I hear you say. Some of you would go, oh, wow, really? If I just say shamanism, you would understand the area they're going to. Now, my next guest has actually spent 12 years in the jungles of Peru. I mean, that's just unthinkable. I mean, all those harsh temperatures, living amongst those wild animals, spiders, snakes, yes, all those things there. But apart from that, this all sounds pretty creepy stuff. But it's also about learning, really about the in-depth stuff to do with shamanism. And did you know there are several different types of shamanism? Well, Udita, my special guest, is going to be coming in shortly and talking about this in great detail. And I'm sure if you've got questions there you guys would like to ask about shamanism as we start going through this, not just about readings and things here, but if you want to ask questions as we're going through live, I'll be monitoring the screen. Just ask questions away. It'll be great to hear from you guys. Okay, right. Thank you, Marnix. He says, nice background. Yes, that's because it's his background. It's his... Actually, it's Chrissy's studio. But thank you very much, guys, for doing this. Okay, quick break. And then I think we need to get Udita on. What do you think, guys? I think so, too. Hello and welcome, Udita. Let's get you in here. We're a little bit on the, there we go. Let's get you in there. How's that? How's that? That's fantastic. A very, very good evening to you. How are you?
I'm very well.
Good, good, good. And technology just going a little bit AWOL here and there.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very well, and thank you for having me on the show.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. Okay. So, as I just said, we're talking about shamanism and curanderos. What's a curandero? Can I ask?
So there are different types of curanderos. So curandero is actually the authentic word, the more serious word, if you like, for shaman, for medicine man or medicine woman, curandero or curandera. And there are different types of curanderos in South America. And all of these different types of curanderos, they have actually ingested the plant or the perfume or the tobacco, which means actually ingesting it over a long period of time alone in the jungle, establishing that connection spiritually. So for example, there are ayahuasqueros who are curanderos who've taken ayahuasca, the sacred vine of the soul, that plant, taken it for many, many years, and they are ayahuasqueros who primarily would do ayahuasca ceremonies.
So what does ayahuasca do? What's one of its functions? I know some of us will probably know. Some of us intrigued about this, probably wanting to have a go at ayahuasca. Well, what's its purpose? What does it do?
Ayahuasca does many things. Ayahuasca is called the vine of the soul because it works at a soul level, and for everybody it's different. So no matter if you have taken ayahuasca 100 times, for example, every time will always be different, and the plant will carry on from the previous time. Even if there's been a gap of 5 years, the plant will carry on from the previous time that you took it. So ayahuasca is very healing. Ayahuasca, I mean, it's become a big thing in the last years. A lot of ayahuasca tourism nowadays. But one has to always do one's research and research the person before you go and participate in a ceremony. So then you have tabaqueros, who are people who have drunk tobacco, again, over a long period of time, several years alone.
Okay.
Develop that connection with the spirit of the tobacco. And then you have paleros. So I am a palera, because I'm female. So
right.
I'm a palera, and my teacher was a palero. And paleros are curanderos who have dieted plants and trees. So they have ingested, they have drunk the roots of different plants and then the cortezas, the barks of certain trees, over 3 to 5 years, for example, alone in the jungle. It's a very long, hard path, very beautiful as well. At the end of it, you have then the privilege to establish a connection with the spirits of these trees and plants. So a curandero is someone who's really spent time alone in the jungle for several years, establishing a spiritual connection with these spirits of these trees and plants who are themselves teachers and doctors. And then because you have ingested, for example, the tobacco or whatever plant and tree you have dieted, you carry that spirit inside you always, forever. And then you can go out into the world and impart knowledge and healing. And these are curanderos, are people who, you know, they navigate through the different realms and give healing to the village, to the community, individually, the land, and so on and so forth. These are very long, deep themes.
So when someone goes on a diet to do with the trees and the plants, how long is the diet? How long do you use? How long do you go through this for? Is it a week? Is it 3 weeks? How long is it?
In order to be a curandero, and actually then be able to say, for example, to answer the question, let me start again. So,
Yeah.
my teacher, who's now no longer working because he's in his 80s,
Yeah.
when I asked him how long I had to do the diet for, because I wanted to carry on his tradition, he comes from a long lineage of curanderos, of healers, he said to me, the minimum you have to do is 3 years.
Okay, 3 years.
The minimum is 3 years. If you want to in the future be able to do what I do, it's 3 years minimum.
And is that what you did? You did this diet for 3 years.
3.5 years.
Wow. And you say you do this in isolation as well.
In isolation in the jungle. So there are people who go to the jungle for healing, diets of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and so on. But like I said, my teacher came from a long lineage of curanderos. So his uncle, his father, his grandfather were all curanderos of 5 to 10 years of diet.
5 to 10 years of diet.
So my
wow.
teacher himself thought that he had only done 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, you have to live in isolation. You fish, you make fire, you get water from the river. It's a life that you live as close to nature as possible, and 3.5 years in the end. But
I'm just going to change
like
the
I
size
said,
of that. It's going to be.
it's a long topic.
It is a long topic. Maria Helmsley asks, is this similar to mushrooms?
I don't have experience with mushrooms, so I cannot really answer that. I mean, the mushroom, of course, the mushroom spirit has its own path that it would open for you.
Okay.
I have known people who've taken mushrooms. In my experience, they've always said to me it's better that you take it in nature if you can, rather than in the city, obviously.
Okay.
And to be mindful of the dosage and so on.
It's amazing, isn't it? We think about going to the chemist or the pharmacy or the doctor, and yet all these medicines and amazing things, they're actually in Peru, in the jungles of Peru. You could actually recover from, what sort of ailments can people recover from or help themselves to get well from? Could you give some examples of people who come to the jungle, what sort of problems they may have
Well,
had?
I'm no longer in the jungle,
Yep.
obviously, but people used to come for all kinds of reasons. They used to come for cancer, for depression, emotional problems, more spiritual connection, all kinds of things that you can imagine. And so I worked at the camp for some years, and now I do workshops, ceremonies where possible, and my work online as well, where I do sessions with people, helping them in
Yes.
different ways to heal, to grow, transcend, very much make them feel empowered and live empowered, happy, healthy lives. To
That's
put it
wonderful.
simply.
We've got some nice comments that are coming actually. I'll just put some of these up on the screen. Venetia Carlton, she came in and just reads out. It's sorry, unfortunately, because it's a dark background, the writing doesn't come out very well, but I'll read this out to you. Venetia Charlton says, shaman, can't spell it, are very special, amazing. I did a fire spiritual with a shaman in Ecuador. Truly blessed to have done it. Wow. Wow. And just come back to this. Well, she says our ancestors did not have paracetamol, but herbs. Okay, so they're using herbs, which is true. I agree with you. I agree there that even when you go back to Nostradamus during the time of the plague, he was actually giving people herbs to get over the illness there of the plague. Right. Okay, and also Maria says she says that microdosing is fantastic for depression, in my opinion. This may be to do with the mushrooms, or it may be to do with the subjects that we're talking about there. Okay, and so in total, how many years did you spend in the jungle?
12 years.
12 years. And most people here would think here, okay, so class, what was your accommodation like there? What's it like there?
Very simple.
Very simple.
Very basic.
Very basic. Okay.
No electricity, water from the river, no running water.
Okay.
No phone for most of the time. Very little connection, and very, very simple food. Living in a very remote place. It's there's a beauty in it, but it's very, very simple, and of course very hard as well when it comes to the heat and all the insects and so on.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I've just seen Susanna here. She said. She just put a caption up here. I've got to go and find the earlier one, I think, here. She said, my deepest respect for the 3.5 years, for most of us, unimaginable. I think you went there at some point. Is this right? Just trying to find your previous comment there. I don't know if it's actually come through, but sorry about that. But yes, wherever you've been for 3.5 years, deepest respect to you too, to go and do this. So I can imagine going to do something like this. Like most of us would think here, that's it. No television, no microwave, no oven. Is that right so far? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no oven. All you've got there is a basic living condition. Is this, so you get water from the river. Is that right?
Yes.
Water from the river. And you have to go and find your own food. Is it like that?
You have to go and fish.
You have to go and fish for your food. Okay, so this really is basic living, and yet I can understand the beauty in this, in being part of nature and being one with nature as it exists, without having the external facilities that we have in the Western world. So I think, if you don't mind, well, we're going to have to get you back on the show, and if you'd like to, if that's all right with you, say once every 4 or 5 weeks, to maybe discuss things that you actually happened to you or for you, or you witnessed or experienced that you would like to share. Is that okay?
Sure, I'd love to.
Okay.
Fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, brilliant. Just to let you know that Udita at the moment, she's in Holland from the 13th to, it's just me blanked out there, hello, 13th to 26th of April. If you'd like to get in contact with her, you can do. You'll notice down the bottom of the poster there, it actually has her WhatsApp number if you want to chat with her, and also her website, which is healingwithudita.com. Yes, please bring her back. That would be great. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Right. Okay. You're a fascinating lady, says Maria. I hope to collaborate with you both one day. You're a fascinating lady, and thanks for sharing the link. That's lovely. And Eleni says, yes, come back. And Manisha says, yes, bring her back on. That would be great. So there you go.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, you're tied in there. Good. And what else we got to go on here? On the, by the way, yeah, this is a bit about I'll come back onto that one in a minute. It's about a show I'm doing, but this is about working together, which is this weekend, which is coming up the following weekend, rather on Sunday, which is Sunday the 21st of April. If you are in Holland or you want to jump over to Holland, then do, because we're both working together on a Spirit Connection mediumship workshop. So on this workshop there, I'll just take all the details there. If you want to go and look for this, guys, I'm going to put this up a little bit later. And two, if you're interested in jumping along, just get in contact with me. I'll pass you on to Chris, who's actually doing the booking details for this. And Lot says, does Udita do online sessions? Do you do online sessions?
I do.
Good.
I do online sessions. So my website, I think, is there somewhere.
Yes.
Is it on there?
Just bring it back up again on this. Oh, where is it now? It's just gone to... I'll find it. Hang on, there it is. Sorry. Yes, there it is there. It's healingwithudita.com. It's down the bottom right there.
People can have a look at the website. It's a very, very simple website. But yes, I do I do sessions there via Zoom or WhatsApp, and I help people with a variety of things, like I said, all across the board. There are some testimonials on there you can have a look at, and online work is a big part of my work now, is online as well.
Fantastic.
It has been for a while.
I mean, I got to say this, and I'm saying this because I've witnessed this, but everybody that I know who's had some work, has been a client of Udita's, has all of them has sung her praises as what she's capable of doing as a shaman. So it's not the normal therapy you're going to get, guys. This is shamanic therapy, shamanic healing here.
Yeah.
And
so can I say something?
You certainly can, yes.
So in the online sessions, just to give people a little bit of information, is that I will often give people something to do. So there are obviously a lot of things I learned in the jungle, also working at the camp for several years after my original dietas. And so I will sometimes, very often even, give people different rituals to do that are very simple to do with whatever the issue is that they come to me with. So we call them secretos, for example, secrets from the jungle, and this is not something you're going to find actually online, to be honest. My teacher was from a very, very long tradition, like I said, of curanderos. I have stories that maybe sometimes people cannot believe, but his father, for example, he walked into the Amazon River. That is how he chose to die. He lives on there. So he walked into the river.
Wow.
And he continues to live there in another dimension.
In another dimension,
yeah,
yes.
And then he is a spirit who then comes to help in the healings. So
that's amazing.
These are to the people there, this kind of thing is very normal.
Yes.
They will talk about the spirits of different animals and trees, and how they appear as men or women, and what they are dressed in, and so on. And they'll talk about it in the morning over breakfast. These are the conversations that people have there.
And we don't have that, do we? It's like what was on TV last night. Yes.
Yeah.
What happened on EastEnders?
Anyway,
yes.
I do online sessions, and it's a big part of my work now.
And how long is each session roughly?
About an hour, more or less.
Okay, because if I know rightly, quite a few people come back for continual sessions over a progressive period to help them get from one point to the next point.
So, it's healing work. It's not going to happen in just one session, and I'll give them a ritual to do, and then I'll say, come back in 10 days, for example, or come back to me in 3 days, and then we do the next one, and so on. So it can vary between 3 and 7 or 10 per person. It depends what they come to me with.
Okay. Annemie says her suppladas are amazing, and we'll talk more about suppladas another time if you'd like to.
Thank you very much.
There you go. And good. So, guys, if you know roughly there how to get in contact with Udita, you want to go there. And just to put this up again, just for a second, say if you're in the area, then you want to come to Holland, come and see this. That'd be amazing. Or if you guys are in Spain, we are working together with a fabulous lady called Julia, who's coming on the show next week to talk about this with us, which is the Heal and Attune Your Soul Retreat, which is from June the 2nd to June the 8th. If you're interested in that, just you'll see it on the Facebook page, also on the website, and you can get in contact with us, and I'll put you straight through to Julia, who'll be happy to take your details there. This is a whole week retreat, guys, of shamanism, spiritualism, yoga, singing, amazing scenery, amazing places for you guys just to have a wonderful time. And I know some of you already are coming down to this, and I tell you what, I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy yourself, especially at the end of the day when you walk down on the beach and you see a sunset like this. Yes, marvelous. I'm just going to find, no, I don't want that one. I'm just trying to find a tool I need. Yeah, that'll do. Good. Found it. Good. Just to say a very a great big thank you to you for coming on the show today. And now I can give you this to you to say a big thank you. Thank you very much. I found my little buttons. I'm very happy I found my little buttons. Okay, guys, we're going to just take a very short break, then we come back to do live mini readings. And thank you very much for everybody joining in. If I did miss out anybody there regarding shamanism, I do apologize, but I really hope you enjoyed that talk there. And as I say, we're going to get her on every 4 to 5 weeks.
I look forward to it.
Four.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
And blessings to all of you.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Okay. Guys, back in a second.